All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Turtleneck Tabletalk, where we are two rugby teammates searching for insightful conversations. I'm your host, Austin Rimple, and this is
Devin. One name.
just singular.
Yes.
Brazilian.
But we are ecstatic because today we have a special guest, and he's here to show that DJs do more than just press play on their phone. We got Frag and Imlo here, okay?
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Really appreciate this.
Well, honestly, you weren't necessarily our top choice, or you weren't my top choice, but we did a poll on our Instagram, so make sure and follow us on Instagram at Turtleneck Tabletalk, and you were voted as our top choice. So
Yes.
even though I didn't want to talk to you,
It's okay.
a lot of people wanted to talk to you, so here we are.
Hello, everybody.
There we go. We're starting off on that note.
We
I
are.
understand. Okay, well, do you want to introduce yourself as well and kind of
Tell us about yourself,
tell
like, you know.
So
Exactly.
I go by Frag Imlo now. Previously it was Imloading,
Okay.
and that was a different project when I started just in the DJ realm. And now, since I am a producer, we have music on Spotify, YouTube, like all the platforms basically. And we have another single coming out in August. So in order to change from a DJ, because I didn't want to be DJ Imlody anymore, I wanted to be known as, a household artist, like Steve Aoki.
Okay. I see.
That's his name now. Like, he's not DJ Steve Aoki, he's Steve Aoki.
Okay.
So, Frag Imlo. It's a collaboration project between me and my brother, Frag Out, and Imlody. So we just kind of
Okay.
condense
I
the
see, I
names
see.
a
Okay,
little
there
bit,
we go. Okay.
Good
Okay.
wordplay and stuff. And yeah, we're excited to launch. And this year has been phenomenal for us. Getting ready to go to Global Dance Festival next week. And yeah, that's going to be a major one in Denver. And I'm stoked.
Okay. I don't want to burst your bubble here, like right away, but
I do.
okay,
Go for it.
I wasn't because like there's still people out there like DJ Khaled. Like, what's the difference between if he was just Khaled? Like, why does he choose to say DJ Khaled and you couldn't have been DJ Frag Imlo?
Oh yeah, or
Frag
just even
Imlo.
like why are we? Why
Is
the
it
name
just
change?
a
It's
stylistic choice?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
just more of a preference, I would say,
Okay.
at that point. But I believe DJ Khaled came from just that background. And whenever he stepped into the production realm, he makes music for others. He's not really doing a lot himself, if that makes sense. He's more or less featuring everybody else, producing the beats and the artwork, and getting their name thrown out there. Like, it's an all-encompassing thing
I
around
see.
music. For him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like it helps relate to the audience a little bit
Yeah.
more. And if he would have switched up at his stature,
Yeah.
that would have just worked backwards for him.
Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, you're getting started out in the kind of just artist realm more than also just DJ.
Yes.
So can you talk about your journey a little bit with that, and let's just dive right in. Where
Get to know you, like
Yes.
you as
Yes.
a person before we get to know you as a DJ. Because
Oh, yeah, let's do
don't you
that.
have don't you have like military background?
Yeah.
Okay.
Prior service, 09 to 2010. I was active for 9 months. Honorable discharge due to an existing condition that I had before they found out about it. And then that kind of didn't work well, but worked well enough that it's honorable. So I'm like, okay. And 2016, I just decided to become a DJ. I've always been infatuated with it, going to raves and local shows and stuff here in Wichita. And I wanted to learn. So one of my birthdays, I got the gift of my DDJ SX2. And oh my God, was I terrible. I thought I was so good and everything. I was like, oh, I could play this song and go into that song. It was trash. About my second year, I got my first residency at Gianni Bocci's. It's the location that's been 100 different names now, but it was off 2nd in Washington, right across from not Mort's, but yeah, a little bit further down.
Yeah.
And it was epic, like just little old me making $400 or $500 a weekend, just playing for 8 hours, having all these free drinks, not good. But, you know, that turned into a different thing. But yeah, like I've had a lot of different cocktails. I'll say that. You know,
I believe that. Yeah.
Then I just I got berated by the community because I thought I was hot shit, and then I found out really quick that it is very important to stay humble in this industry. And the more I talked, the less work I got, if that makes sense. And then I kind of understood what all these other people were meaning because they've already been in the industry for much longer than me. And my Lord, man, like I was wrong about my own talents. So kind of hid away, worked on myself for a while, and then came out into the scene and the community. Have played almost every club downtown, most of the bars and stuff in Wichita. Done over 100 weddings for people.
Wow.
Charity events. I like to work with the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and yeah, just kind of went from there.
That's
And
awesome.
Now I want more though, so that's why the switch happened. And
Okay. Yeah. So, getting started with your DJing career, and like you said, you were on the rise. You were feeling good. But you said it was also trash at the same time. But were you feeling good about it at the time, or were you like, oh wait, what made you come to realize you really needed to improve on yourself?
Listening to other people's mixes and how they put their sets together and stuff like that. I would just go in to, play hip hop music at the club, and that's pretty simple to be quite honest. But also, the way I did it wasn't that great. So now I can go virtually anywhere, play any style of music, and put on an actual show for people and get them to stay versus have people walk out the door because this song sucks or whatever.
Because that's got to be somewhat challenging when you are trying to come up with your set list and everything like that in programming, because you have things that you would normally kind of gravitate towards, but then you have to think of the audience and like who's going to be there and like mixing in. So what is like your process for like kind of making a set list or kind of coming up with your mixes and whatnot?
That's all pretty touch and go still, like, all right, what's our popular songs? Everybody's gonna know these. We need the sing-alongs, if you will,
Party in the USA type of thing.
Yeah. Like if everybody knows the song, then guess what? They're gonna sing along to it. They're gonna connect with it more. I'm like, all right, so I need a few of those in there. Then I need some things that they've never heard. You know what I mean? I need the more underground stuff. That way I can just surprise them. They're like, that was amazing, But they also have no idea if it was me or who was it,
put some of that, put some of your own
and
stuff
then like the remixing or mashup factor. Like, okay, I'll take these two amazing songs and blend them into something that's just mind-blowing, The last time I heard that was actually at Decadence, when Gareth Emery was playing, and he mixed in Blue Dabba Dee Dabba Die with something else, and it was just fucking incredible. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, there's no way he just dropped this, and then just immediate fist pumping, just vibes, you know what I mean? And he just threw that song out the window essentially for me. I can't hear it the same now. So it's little things like that.
Nice.
It's all 70% music and then 30% how you mix it together, if that makes sense.
Okay.
That's what I've always told people.
Yeah. So for me, I just put like that little timer on they got on Spotify now, up to like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
just
whoa, that's
right in.
Oh, man. He's wicked good at that. But I'm imagining it goes a little bit, there's a little bit more of a process for you there.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Tiny bit?
Me personally,
What kind of buttons do you press?
play a lot.
Right. Those ones?
There's a lot of hot cue buttons. On my personal controller, I use hot cues, rolls, slicer, and sampling. So there's 4 different settings on my deck. On a CDJ, however, we just have like a little knob for effects, and we have a couple buttons up here for the in and outs on our looping and stuff. So it's all about your timing. How well are you going to do this? Are we going to be syncing this? But that's bad juju to a lot of other DJs, or artists, I should say. Because even if we, as Frag and Low, am an artist, I'm still a DJ. You know what I mean? I have to go up there and I have to put on a show.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let this song just play out to the end and then be like, what's up, everybody?
Oh yeah, I hate those guys.
You guys having a good time? Another thing, don't ask questions. You don't ask questions as a DJ. As a performer, you say, let's go. You know what I mean? That's much different than, how you feeling?
Yeah.
You know, I might get the woo, but if I say, let's go, then everybody's going to be like, wow.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a fun little thing that I had learned because a buddy of mine had just taught me that from all the shows he had went to. He was like, stop asking questions. Listen to this guy. He never asked a question. He told the crowd what to do. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that is my job. I tell you guys what to do.
Yeah, don't tell me what to do. Yeah.
Yeah, don't tell me what to do. You know what? I'm going to listen to this guy, though. Like, for no reason. It's pretty tedious, I will say, like figuring everything out. And me personally, every performance I've done, like I still feel like I'm going to puke before because I want to do a good job, man. And I'm nervous. I don't know these 1,000 people out there, you know? I don't know how they're going to react to what I think is a banger track, you know? And it sits, you know? So
it's like such a weird feeling because it's like almost when you're I don't know, maybe you can elaborate on it, but it seems like, you know, when you are sending these playlists and you're selecting this music, even though you're picking stuff popular, when you're picking stuff underground and stuff like that, it's like you're sharing a piece of yourself with the audience to see how they take it, whatnot. Is that kind of correct? Like,
yeah, that's absolutely right. Like even at this point, I've heard our song "Love Me" so many times that I don't even want to play it at Global. You know what I mean? Because I like our other stuff better, you know? And I know I'll only use like 1.5 to 2 minutes of the song, but dang it, there's so many other options, you know? Like if I have, in my personal library, I have over 10,000 songs. So that is years of music, honestly. Yeah. And I like to throw in at least, you know, 50 to 60 tracks in an hour. So I like to mash things up. I like to layer them over each other and kind of bring out a different vibe for each track, you know? That way it's different for everybody. They're like, oh, I know this beat, but I also know this melody. So now they're just blending and they're like, oh my God, he's good, you know? And that just took a lot of practice, knowing your tracks and cue point placement, to be quite honest, because if our timing's off, everybody will know. And we've always, in the DJ realm, we've always forgiven people for 2 mess-ups. You know what I mean? If they have 2 mistakes in their set, that's okay. Any more than that,
okay.
let's
3
reel that
strikes
guy
and you're
back
out,
in.
man.
You know? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and a mistake would be kind of like if you're missing a cue, and if you're like, for me, like when a DJ interrupts a song and just like stops the music and then starts talking, like that's happened at like a few different places. I don't know where. Maybe it was like a high school dance or something.
That's forgivable. That's forgivable.
I think they might get around like 6 or 7 strikes, but you know. Who knows? But yeah.
Oh, weddings, I don't even want to talk about those.
Oh, I was about to
Those
that,
are just free for all. Like, just make mistakes there. You know what I mean?
Everybody's probably so
That's
drunk.
your training ground?
They got the point.
That's the training ground. Yes, that is.
Okay.
Everybody will be messed up, like you say. They won't even notice. And you're like, yeah. Well,
and you've done like hundreds of those, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Auntie Jenny wanted this song right now. So I'm like, whoop. Play that song. All right, I got you, Auntie Jenny. Have a good time.
Holy cow, that was a really good DJ voice. How long has that taken you to perfect that?
Oh, a long time.
Oh,
I'm always embarrassed by it too because it's taken some practice.
Oh man,
the Soul Train, you know.
Yeah.
I want you to make like a ringtone for my phone right now. Kind of. Austin can't come to the phone right now.
Austin can't come to the phone right now. Please leave a message.
Yes. Yes. Oh man, we're gonna
clip that.
Cut that out. Put it back in my phone because I have a decently good one right now.
No, you don't. It's awful.
Oh, but it's so good though because I put like "Easy" by the Commodores. I don't know if you know that song.
Probably.
It's like "'Cause I'm easy." Nah, nah. I don't know. But anyway,
Is he easy though?
Oh, yeah.
easy like a Sunday morning.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that.
yes, yes.
So I put the beginning of that song, and then I just like started talking. I'm like, sorry, Austin can't come to the phone right now
Super
because he's
annoying,
taking it
yeah.
easy.
If you hate it, it's got to be mint. That's all I'm saying. Like, that's got to be good.
The litmus test. I passed it. Let's go. Yes. Yeah. Oh man, I just can't imagine what you got for a hang. Oh man.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
we'll work on that. Maybe.
we get a lot of love-hate relationships with everybody. If I don't play Becca's birthday song, then
yeah.
I'm the worst DJ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Real.
how our friendship got started.
Yeah.
Because I was talking trash because he didn't have my songs.
Straight up, that is no joke.
What was the song?
MILF Money by Fergie. That is my jam. If you have not heard it, you go play it. It will change your life. That's my
I
song.
know that song too.
Yes.
Still don't have the song.
Yeah.
You obviously still don't have taste.
So you didn't play it when he asked. How does that make you feel?
I was very upset, and I'd let him know that I was very upset about it.
He was there for like 5-10 minutes before he started pestering me. And I'm like, man, there's so many other people here having a good time. It was a bar crawl.
Yeah.
F
Supporting
this
the
guy.
Crawl for Cancer, because, support. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's trying to hear a great jam to really, get the crowd going.
Yeah, get the
me
crowd
and
was
my
going.
me and my buddy from Dancers for Cancer, that's like one of our jams. So we were ready to hype up the crowd,
Oh, yeah.
and
I failed him.
yeah.
Well,
Still failing him to this day.
Yes. But now I've learned to expect it. So
Or if you just learn to take your failures and move on from them and learn a life lesson. I don't know where I was going with that, but I feel like there's something to go off with that.
Basically, it's a low-key stab to get MILF money. I get it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll hear it.
So yeah. So what would you say kind of like the music scene is like in like Wichita, kind of the
Wichita
local
is
area?
very community-based, community-driven. There's a lot of cliques in any industry, obviously. Wichita now has many, many groups to choose from. Nocturnal by Nature has been hosting shows for years. Will Kinetic, phenomenal dude. He's always brought in top-tier artists, and most of those shows slay every single time.
Did you just say slay?
I was gonna question on that too.
Okay, that's okay.
Was that with
sorry.
like 3 Ys or just slay as
do
in,
they
like,
slay or did they slay or like?
No, I mean they kill
Slay.
it. Like the shows are amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
Like they do very well.
Thanks for breaking that down. I appreciate that. I really do. I can't stand that word.
Tribal Roots, one of the other collectives in town, they have the Element 5 system.
Okay.
That's probably the best system I've ever heard. And
What is this system?
sound system.
Sound system.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right.
think of like Bose. That's a household name.
Yeah,
You know what
sure.
I mean?
Mhm.
But the audio system itself, like these Element 5s hit frequencies that you don't hear. You feel them. You know what I mean? Standing
Okay.
in front of those subwoofers, like I did for 30 minutes one night at a show, and like I felt sick. You know what I mean? I had to
'Cause
step
it's
outside because my organs are just.
I was gonna
Oh,
ask,
yeah,
like,
know what I
like,
mean?
you get like an inner tsunami with all that
Yes,
water.
it was-
That's insane, man.
It was intense.
Wow.
The clarity on them, though, that's the most impressive thing to me because even though it's pushing out that much bass, you can still hear all the highs and the mids. Everything is just crystal, and it blows my mind.
That was a beautiful picture you just
You
painted.
did, yes, yes.
Wow. Yeah.
So I've heard the Function 1s, the Void Rig, and the Element 5s, and Element 5's still top, in my
Element
opinion.
5. So where do I look for that if I'm trying to get some really good sound quality in when I'm eating out at a bar at late night, and I need to hear that Element 5. How do I know I'm gonna
That's
get that?
not going to happen
It's not
there.
gonna happen.
Not
They
gonna
do
happen.
have a private warehouse, though, that they host shows at. I believe the first show upcoming is a house show, and it's October 13th. I'm pretty excited about that because house music that's my jam. That's
Okay.
the boots and cats and boots and cats and cats and boots and cats. And
Oh,
boots.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I see it. I see where the DJ comes from. I know about those boots and those cats. I know about them. Maybe a little Puss in Boots as well. I think is that where it came from. I'm not sure.
I have no idea. Honestly,
pretty-
somebody just did it one day on some video, and that went.
Yeah,
it's just
there you go.
very-
I was like, all right, that works. Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes so much sense. And then the transition, cats in boots, you know? I was like, oh, so they're a verbal DJ now. I get it, you know?
I see. Do you ever do any of that? Like when you try to like transition into a song?
Mm-mm.
Just
I'm embarrassed to
acapella,
be
like
on the
little
mic,
acapella?
honestly. Like
Yeah.
my mic work is not great.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to grab it and be like, ask a question on accident.
Right.
Because I'm gonna ask a question. You know what I mean? I'm not
Just a
gonna tell
curious
people
man.
what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just make sure like my music kind of speaks for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Very artistic there.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Some people know it. Some people just goes over their head type deal.
Yeah.
You know. But
Yeah.
if they understand at the deeper level, then yeah, like all of our song names on our album, like Love Me is our single. Next is Lost My Mind. That comes out in August. On our album upcoming, we have I'm Sorry, Don't with Fakes, some other
Pardon
ones
your
on
French.
Yeah.
there. Yeah, it just wild ones, just kind of all incorporated.
Is this
to
the
our
your
life.
first album you're coming out with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And hopefully that's going to be done by September, but who knows when it'll be released or launched, you know?
Yeah, if you're using the word hopefully, I don't know.
Yeah. It's not.
I don't
installing a lot of
know.
confidence.
It takes a
Yeah, this
lot.
is
No, I
because
understand that.
we
a
have
little bit of
7
that.
out of 10 tracks completed, but we want to ensure that it's quality.
Yeah.
Type
know
of
what I
thing.
mean?
Yeah, that
We're not
makes
just trying
sense.
to shove stuff out, and
Mhm.
we've had a backlog for. We have music from 2012 still, and
Oh man.
are we going to use that? Yeah, we might revamp it, remaster it, and then just send it off as a single or make it extended play EP and just throw it on there or something. But yeah, the album has to be what we want at first. And we're going for the more feel good, like uplifting type vibe,
Hey.
the fist pumpy energy, but also like makes you think a little bit too.
Oh,
You
Okay.
know?
'Cause I was
Okay.
just about to ask, like, what kind of, because, what subgenre of dance music would you say would this would fall under or whatnot? Like, what's kind of, like, if you have to, because I know that it's like, or
It's
is it one of
tough.
those things that's like, it's a little bit of everything or like,
Yeah, so in this, we're more or less sticking. I can give you the beat range and
Okay.
the BPM, beats per minute.
Okay.
So it's going to be from about 120 to 135. So
that's
that
a good range.
that's a
That's a
whole
good-
blanket. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
Actually, our last track on there, I wanted to call it high speed or something like that because that's an old military term.
Mhm.
If you were cool or honestly just an idiot, they would call you okay high speed. And I'm like,
Really?
yeah. So I thought that was a little gimmick that we could throw
type of
in
Did you
there.
get that nickname?
I was about to say
Oh,
that definitely sounds like a nickname you would get.
My nickname was Giraffe Ass. So yeah, I'm so tall.
You are
I can just
very
smell it.
tall.
Yeah.
Like, how tall are you, real? Like,
6'4". Yeah.
okay, like
pretty tall, man.
he's very tall. Like, yeah.
You got
It
some
was-
stilts on you, dude.
It was a fun nickname to deal with. I was accepting of it because there's nothing else I could do at that
Yeah,
point. We
yeah.
did have a couple high speed people in my unit though, and
Okay.
it wasn't me. All right, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
I was a clown though. I got my battalion dropped a few times, and that was
Ooh.
fun.
Mm.
Hey,
Dropped as in.
yeah. Well, we can't say that. We had to do corrective exercises.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Okay. I see. Understood.
yeah, but front leaning rest position was used a lot. That's push-ups basically. Yeah. Or we had the dying cockroach where we had to just lay on our back and hold our arms and legs out
Dead
for
bug.
as long as
Oh,
we can.
wow.
Until you just start shaking, and I'm like, oh, I get it now. I'm like,
While you're shaking.
yeah, I'm like,
Oh!
it makes sense.
It makes sense to me.
Oh, God,
That's how
that
I
hurt.
figure things out too. Once, once you're in the moment, you're like, oh shoot, that makes sense.
It's
That's why
clicking.
it's named it.
Please don't make me do this again.
I don't want to understand it. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Not really. It's not that cool, but.
But
military
that track,
community.
the high speed one, it's
Mm-hmm.
170 beats per minute. And that's going to be like our
okay.
closeout,
Whoa.
because it's going to wind everybody right back up and then settle them down, because that's another thing about the set list is the flow of things, you can't just go hard the whole time.
No.
You need to give people a break, you know. So
some of us can go hard the whole time,
Oh,
but for
we're all
the
not
amount of
you,
yeah,
okay?
yeah.
I'm on the Zumba
So-
for hours on end.
We'll give them like, 5 to 8 minutes typically. Just everybody jumping, just going extreme, getting that sweat out, and then we'll give them like a 30 to minute rest. If I don't like the minute rest, I'm like the 15-second 30 range, and then right back into it.
Oh,
And
okay.
then, just kind of flow along
the
with
wave.
it, ride the wave with it.
Yeah.
Because you don't want anybody passing out at your sets. But
No.
that is low-key a goal of mine.
Oh,
Like,
you just contradicted yourself.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
You don't want it to happen, but I mean, hey,
it
that's
happens,
Yeah. Yo, this guy was he was playing too good. I couldn't stop dancing, and then I just keeled over, and I'm like, all right, mission accomplished.
We dehydrate everyone at our sets.
Yeah.
Drink water.
Get them all passed out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when I'll get on the mic and I'll be like, drink water. That's the command I'll tell people.
Yeah, you're not asking them either. Though.
Yeah,
we
I'm
don't ask
telling
questions.
you.
Hey, get
telling
your
you,
liters
you
of water in, man. Yeah, I respect that. I respect that.
Festivals get hot, man. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
global. I
Believe
think
it.
we're expecting to be like 100+ degrees in the Mile High,
Jeez,
and underneath gigantic canopies for some of the stages. The main stage, there's no canopy. That's just Empower Field parking lot. And I'm like, all right, I think I need to get more sun. Like,
Take your shirt off, get that
Yeah.
tan.
yeah,
You do that?
something. Oh, most definitely.
Really?
Like,
Okay.
dude, if I start sweating too much, I'm like, okay, this is either becoming like a headband or it's just going in my back pocket until nighttime,
Nice. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Crazy.
I tried to get my burn in before I went out there, but it clearly didn't work all
Yeah.
that well. Like, I tried.
So for people who aren't like too familiar with like festivals and all that stuff, can you just kind of go over like what all that kind of entails, just from like an audience, like somebody just going to it, and then how you have to set up, how you have to prepare for it, and everything like that, and what the workings are in regards to that.
Festivals are life-changing for everybody. People that don't go, that have went, that's the first thing I've heard from every single one of them. They're like, yeah, that was the most amazing experience ever. I mean, it's pure chaos, but it's also just harmonized into this perfect little beautiful balance of everything. There's something to do for everybody, right? Most festivals will have like workshop classes and stuff like that. This festival is going to have a little carnival and everything, food trucks and all that galore. So just imagine Riverfest, but nothing but EDM music. And I mean, it's actually a packed Riverfest, not like the last few years. And
Yes, throw
Yeah.
trash on the Riverfest.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it, but hey, hire some locals, okay? Get some local talent up
That's
there.
very true.
Yeah.
It's a valid point.
That's all I can say.
Yeah. How's that been with like the local scene and you doing stuff here as well? Are there festivals around here?
We're actually hosting one as well, Yggdrasil, Reawakening.
Oh yeah, I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah.
I was
So
looking through
good.
it.
That makes me happy because I don't think we're friends on Facebook.
No, I
so.
wasn't. I was just stalking / researching.
Oh, okay,
you
that
know,
works too.
so,
yeah.
So that is just going to be a Wichita local festival. We did one last year in 2022, April 29th and 30th, and had 7 states of DJs, 60+ DJs. We had like 10 to 15 vendors out there, and just a whole paganistic type festival where everybody just goes out there and they forget the world around them.
Yep.
And oh man, it was nice. This one, $40 for a 2-day camping pass, $25 for a single day. That way, because not everybody wants to go out and camp, you know what I mean? But music from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. So essentially,
wow.
skip the club, just come straight to the afters. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's just a beautiful communal vibe. We're gonna have a sound bath done by Through Breath Yoga. We're gonna have an ecstatic dance session out there from Make Real Waves.
Can we go back to what's a sound bath? What was that?
That's so cool. Yeah.
So
Was that what-
sound
did I say
bath
that?
is more like a healing experience. We're gonna have that more so in the morning, like early afternoon. That way, it kind of re-energizes everybody's battery and stuff. Like, I'm not thoroughly experienced with it, but I've just seen and heard enough about them to kind of give a brief example.
It's
But
like meditation type of, like more along the lines of that.
It's nice.
It's
is
definitely
peaceful.
something that
That is-
you
yeah.
should definitely kind
Is
of like
it
try out.
just like everyone like in a circle, like, and then they got a speaker in the middle, and they're just all.
I mean, there's different ways like you can like incorporate like yoga type of. When I've done it, it's been like with yoga, and they use like the different like bowls and like different things like that. It's one of those things that is hard to explain until you do it, type of thing. Like,
Yeah.
because we're not doing it justice because we're not like. That's
why
not our world,
Yeah, I
type
can't
of thing.
speak
So I
too
can
much
just
on it.
speak
Yeah.
to like my little experience with it. But it was really fun.
sound bath.
Yes.
Nice.
It'll be interesting. And I know everybody that attends this festival in particular will absolutely love that stuff. We're going to have a few live painters out there. I'm still kind of working out the kinks through those. One that we do have confirmed is Chalking Zone. Seen this lady's art. Magnificent. If I'm impressed by something, like, I'm actually impressed by it. I don't say that lightly for a lot of people, because you give somebody too much praise, then they get a big head, like I did.
Yeah,
way
I was
back
about to
in the
say, just
day.
like you.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
So-
mean, it happens. It does happen. So I make sure to give that where it is well deserved, you know. And she just showed me a whole bunch of her artwork and stuff, and it's really unique and stuff I've never personally seen. So I'm going to be very grateful to have her out there as well. Also, Edward Fawn Art is another confirmed artist that we're going to have out there. She does a lot of beautiful work with trees and stuff like that.
I like
as
trees.
well. Yeah, and it's really complex work. She does some really intricate things. She's had many showings in Wichita and Jess Vega, and yeah, it's just incredible.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Maybe get you out there.
What do
Yeah,
you do?
When you see the trailer drop for this podcast, you'll see a little bit of my artwork
He did of me.
expertise.
He had a great subject to work with, I think, too. So that
That's
really
the
helped.
narcissism coming out.
That
Yeah, it was pretty funny though. It was part of the trailer, and I guess it'll be out. So.
Yeah, but
Yeah, we just had Devin on a couch laying down doing his model thing, because he's part-time model.
He's great at it too.
Yeah.
Love all of his pictures.
Yeah, see, there you go, blowing up his head again.
That-
But
I mean, yeah.
whatever. But yeah, no, I drew him with like a little bald eagle on top of his hand too. So
it's a really good
It's pretty
painting,
sweet.
especially
Hopefully we
for
can
time,
get that
so.
edited into the
Yes.
actual
That-
trailer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah.
I need to see.
So
this.
maybe I should attend to
We
invigorate
can-
my artist
yes, we
experience.
Can, yeah,
could.
maybe
Yeah.
get a scholarship here at Shocker Studios. I just looked. Yeah, so that was our producer shaking his head. It will not happen. But
Hey,
she's
shoot
a
your shot.
doubter. That's okay.
You know
Do you also do programs as well? Are you gonna do a DJ teaching
Yeah.
program there? Because
So-
I know you do that.
That, yes.
You do.
Actually, do.
Sorry.
You're fun.
It's funny.
It cracks me up too. I'm a child. So, so I currently am teaching classes. Actually, my direct support for Yggdrasil Reawakening
Yeah.
is my student, and I'm very ecstatic about that because he's worked really hard, and he's actually proven a lot to me. He's shown me a lot. He's consistently sending me mixes. He's taking all of the knowledge I have bestowed upon him and applying it without really me even saying, hey, go do this. He's already, some people already want to book him out in Texas and stuff. And I'm like, hold on. I know you're excited. Just let's slow down a little bit, because I don't want him to get into a realm where a lot of people take advantage of us. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, you're willing to come down. Yeah, I am. But how much are you paying me? Oh, well, I already got you on the lineup. Okay. So what does that mean for me? Like, how much are you paying me? Are you going to compensate me for gas? What equipment am I using? Give me the whole spiel here. Like, I need to know all of the details before I can give a confirmed yes or no, you know? And a lot of people doing things and just hosting events, they take away from our professionalism, because, I mean, realistically, I could go get a lot of DJs for free if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to do that though. I've always made sure to pay my people, to give them the kind of insight they need to know, like how contracts work, how we're going to do our tech riders, how we're going to do our personal riders. A rider is something that you get from the event. Like a tech rider for me would be, if I'm not playing on CDJs, I expect to be able to perform on my DDJ SX2. And
That was a lot of letters thrown
That
out
was
there
like
that
a
I did
lot
not
that
know.
like, yeah, like.
exactly.
What-
Exactly.
exactly.
Quick,
All right.
but yeah, that's just a controller name that I personally use.
Okay.
CDJ is, I don't even know what CDJ stands for, but something
Neither do I.
computer disc jockey. I'm gonna take a shot in the dark. That's
I
probably
like
very
it.
wrong.
I like it.
But yeah.
We'll stick with it.
Yeah, go with it.
Sounds good.
So
yeah.
now we take a USB instead of our whole computer or a whole crate of vinyl and stuff like that, and we just plug it in and we
Yeah.
play.
Yeah. Hey, there you go, man. That's
Convenient.
pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say I just signed into my Spotify account. So you can do
Yeah,
that too.
got
There
that
you go.
3 second,
That little 3-second curve
With
be
my
ready to
3
go.
second
Yeah,
DJ spinning. Yeah, you know I mix it like that.
It's gonna be a great
Yeah.
set. This
Oh, yeah.
playlist has nothing to do with any of the songs correlating
Yeah,
to each
my
other. but
F45 students can attest to that. I'm a DJ on that. But no, it's cool to hear you talk about you kind of having an apprentice, you know, and being the master and showing them like the little ins and outs that you kind of learned from your early on mistakes. So can you talk about some of those stories maybe of
yeah. We
things you wish you didn't do but you did anyway?
One, got a big head. That's
Right.
the biggest mistake that I could tell anybody that they could make. So if you think that you're doing good, cool. Think that. Don't show it. You know what I mean? Like, just internalize that feeling as much as possible. If somebody comes up to you and tells you that you're doing good, thank them.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. Don't be like, yeah, I know I'm doing good. Okay, we're done with this guy already. You know what I mean? Man, some of my biggest mistakes, though, are honestly accepting opportunities and expecting a payment.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, there's a lot of unpaid events that I've done, and that was my own fault. You know what I mean? Because I got excited, I got eager, and I was like, yeah, I'll do that. Throw my name on there, you know? Like, yes, my name's on a flyer. I'm getting famous, you know? Like, this is happening. And then it's like, yo, dude, I spent like $150 to get out here and like get a hotel and do all this stuff. Like, you guys gonna throw me anything? What are you talking about? No.
Oh gosh,
Not at all.
I can just see that played out. Yeah. Oh man.
And then the other aspect of like professional businesses and companies, like even some locally in town, you got to be careful because they won't pay you sometimes. And what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, I can make a Facebook post about it. I can get some bandwagoners on this, but okay, at the end of the day, I'm still not gonna get my $200 for a club. You know, like it's not gonna happen that way. Or, just nothing will be done. But if there's a contract involved, then guess what? At that point, I can just go to a small claims court and be like, hey, they owe me this money. They did not pay me. This was our agreement. They'll be like, okay, yeah, pay the guy. Simple as that.
Have you ever had to do that?
Fortunately, I have not had to take anybody to
hopefully,
small
yeah.
claims court. But
That's good.
again,
You
that's
did
also
forget to,
on me.
yeah.
Because a lot of in-town arrangements are just verbal. You know what I mean? Like we have that trust and respect for each other. That's why I made sure to build rapport with everybody that I've ever worked with. And I have that trust that I will pay them because I'm not about to let them get screwed over. We're all in the same industry together. And that hurts me. Like when I find out somebody, traveled 8+ hours or what have you, they bought a hotel, they had to spend X amount on gas, especially now, and they didn't even make $20. I'm like, dude, you want to know how much that event made that night though? Thousands.
Yeah.
So you're telling me they can't even throw you a bone or anything? And yeah, that just kills me. So I want to make sure, like in my graduation month of lessons and stuff like that, these are the more finer points of things that I go over, like how we're going to do these contracts, how we're going to approach future business, how we're going to get ourselves booked. I'll also manage most of my artists for at least their first year after graduation. So I just do it all for them. And then I show them as I do it. Like, this is why we're doing things this way. Guess what? They're probably going to tell you no, but I'd rather you get told no than get screwed over. Because, yeah, can you afford it right now? If you can afford it, you make your own decision. But if you can't, let me make it for you. That kind of deal.
Yeah.
And come to find out, like a lot of our locals are still taken advantage of. You know, there's a lot of people out there that are expected to promote and sell tickets or do all this and that, but they only get like a certain percentage of ticket sales and things like that. So I want to ensure that, hey, if you're playing for an hour, like this is your worth for that hour. You're guaranteed making that. And a lot of our major companies, like I've listed already and talked about, they make sure to pay their DJs. That's why they have my respect, because they don't give them the runaround,
That's nice. Yeah. I wanted to talk a little bit about the network within the DJ community, but I also wanted to know, like, if I were making you a contract and I had to throw a little gift in there to make sure you were able to come to my event, what would that be, if that makes sense?
That would
Like
be
if I were to give you like a Lego set on top of it,
That would be in my rider or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be the extra aspect.
Yeah.
One of my favorite guys, Zoa from Colorado, in his rider, he requests 2 pizza Lunchables.
There you go. See,
And I'm like, that's dope. I'm like, you know what? That is, guess
Bring
what?
me my
And then
Lunchables.
he's got his Lunchables, and he like takes a picture with them. He's like,
That's
man,
awesome.
they listen to my rider, and I'm like, that's incredible. I need to implement that. I'm like, yo, it's also
What
a
would
running
it be
joke
for you?
Yeah.
for me, shit, like
You gotta think about that.
6-pack of Modelo. You know what I mean? Like, give me something easy that I enjoy.
There you go.
Thing.
Very grounded.
Yeah, it'll get more complex as time goes on.
It's a
Like
good starting point. Just
6-pack of Modelo is easy.
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay, I got this guy. I'm like, this is the wrong Modelo.
I said the glass, the glass bottles. God.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
It happens though, Some people throw a fit about it. So the running joke is like, what's the most absurd rider that you've ever heard of? Like, I need like 3 pounds of cotton candy, Okay. Like, somebody get this guy cotton candy, or he's not gonna show up. Most basic needs are, just a bottle of water on stage, maybe a bottle of liquor or something like that for them and their little plus ones or their entourage and stuff. A towel, sweat towel.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty easy going guy. There you go.
Yeah. But keep it simple, keep it light, and we'll do a good job.
There you go. Yeah. So I think we're gonna wrap it up here as we do that. Is there any advice you have to give to those up and coming DJs? We've talked a little bit about with your mistakes. But is there any other advice you'd like to bestow upon these people who want to get into what you're doing?
Yes, besides signing up for your program and becoming one of your students.
Whoa.
Besides that,
Besides that, because
Look,
that's
golly, man.
obviously the top.
Yeah.
That's what they
That's-
should do.
that's what they definitely
common
should
sense.
do.
But
So my criteria, so to speak: 1, go out and support. 2, are you going to be an asshole or are you going to be humble? Because that's a major thing. 3, are you clout chasing or are you just actually there to support people? Because I pay attention to a lot of people that have hit me up and they're like, I'd love to work with you and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. What are you doing for the community? How are you helping others? How are you lifting others up? How are you supporting all of them? And 5, are they good? Are they talented? Talented is the last step on my personal roster, because a lot of people can be talented. We have lessons, we have YouTube, we have all this knowledge at our disposal on how to be great. And talented just comes with the determination and the drive to do it. That's about it.
That is very good.
Appreciate
very
that. That came in a
profound.
5-step.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
5-step plan as well.
I know.
Awesome. Well,
So if
Thanks for joining,
people
man.
want to connect with you, what can they like? How can they reach you? Like, what's your social medias and stuff like that?
Google FRAGEMLO will pop up.
Frag Elmo.
Frag Emlo.
Emlo.
Everybody made
Yeah.
the mistake of Elmo too. I'm like, so that's why I made it simpler. simpler.
Yeah,
Elmo.
Emlody was Emlottie. Everybody still calls me Melody.
Well,
Melody.
Well, I
And I'm
thought it was like clever because it was like when I was like looking, I was like, oh, that's like Melody. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, that's clever.
But the E and the M are switched up
Yeah,
because I'm a little messed up.
Yeah, I was like, this is clever. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, but then you got rid of the name, so I guess here we are.
But Frag Emlo on all socials.
Yeah.
That true?
Mhm.
Okay, that's true.
YouTube, SoundCloud,
Yep.
you can do all that stuff.
I made
Spotify?
sure that even like Emlody, nobody had that name. Unfortunately, Google was like, "Did you mean Melody?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No. Search for this instead."
Yeah,
Gotcha.
what's up?
First thing I did is got all the pages up and running, and I don't use Twitter that much, but we're even on Twitter, and yeah, Frag Emlo.
That's
That's
awesome.
us. All our
Alright.
music, like even some
Yes.
old TikToks I did, and I'm like, oh God, I need to delete those. Like, I need to get those off the page. But, yeah.
There you go. Well, thanks for coming on, man. Really appreciate it.
We are
Thank you,
really
guys.
excited to have you as a guest. Just the things that you're doing with the community is something really special. I feel like there's quite a few different DJs people can go to and whatnot, but just like the stuff that you're doing with like really trying to uplift the community and like seeing you trying to create like this whole like atmosphere that's positive for DJing here with not only your program, but trying to do like these little festivals, local festivals and stuff like that is something to be appreciated. And so I'm glad that we could have you on this podcast and kind of help highlight you and some of the different things that you do. So
Thank you guys so
keep
much
it
for
up
having me too.
and make sure you get my song.
I'll get,
on-
I'll get MILF money.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I'll
There
just,
we go.
Yes, but we are Turtleneck Table Talk. Make sure and follow us on all social medias for more information and bonus content. So thank you.